Deep Agent just dropped something that's making developers and teams rethink how meetings actually work. It's called Listener. And it's not another meeting bot that joins your call. This thing lives on your desktop and captures everything in real time while actually understanding what's on your screen. Here's the difference. You're in a customer call, and someone mentions they need the API docs updated by next Tuesday. Normally, you're scrambling to write that down while also responding and watching their reaction. With Listener running, it catches that commitment the second it's spoken, flags it as an action item, assigns Tuesday as the deadline, and by the time you say sounds good, it's already structured and ready to push to your project tracker. The speed matters because you're not waiting for processing. There's no, we'll send you the summary in 20 minutes. It's happening live. A prospect says they're worried about data residency in Europe. Listener flags that as an objection instantly. Your teammate mentions budget approval needs to go through Sarah in finance. That gets captured with Sarah's name attached. A stakeholder asks what changed since the last proposal. You can literally ask Listener right there in the moment because it's already read the document you're presenting and can tell you the differences. That on-screen awareness is the part that feels genuinely new. Listener isn't just transcribing audio, it sees what you're looking at. Pull up a spreadsheet during a planning session and someone asks why Q3 numbers are down. Instead of hunting through rows, you ask Listener to explain what's actually causing the dip. It reads the data, spots the pattern, and tells you traffic stayed flat, but conversion dropped 3%. That's not magic. That's screen context awareness combined with language understanding, and it turns your desktop into something closer to a co-pilot that actually pays attention. The use cases stack up fast. Sales teams are using it to catch objections before they become deal blockers. When a prospect hesitates or mentions a concern, Listener highlights it immediately and can pull relevant responses from your pitch deck or case studies. You're not fumbling through slides trying to find that one customer story that addresses their exact worry. It surfaces what you need when you need it. Recruiters and hiring managers are running interviews with Listener active because it timestamps key moments, flags strengths and concerns, and leaves them with organized notes that make team debriefs actually useful, instead of everyone trying to remember who said what. Product teams are using it in stand-ups and planning sessions because it separates decisions from discussion. When someone says we're prioritizing mobile over desktop this quarter, that gets logged as a decision with context. When 3 people debate whether to use Postgres or Mongo and eventually land on Postgres, that outcome is captured with the reasoning attached. The workflow integration is where it stops being a nice-to-have and becomes something you actually rely on. Finish a client call and the summary is already formatted. Push it to Slack with one click. Turn action items into tickets in Linear or Jira with owners. And due dates pre-filled. Drop meeting notes into your CRM without copying and pasting. Trigger a follow-up email with the right attachments. Based on what was discussed, you go from conversation to execution without opening 5 different tabs and trying to reconstruct what just happened. Deep Agent Desktop is the container this all lives in, and it's designed as a genuine all-in-one. You've got 4 modes working together. CLI for terminal junkies who want to script and automate. Code editor for building and editing with AI assistance baked in. Chat mode for brainstorming. Reasoning through problems and talking to models. And now Listener, which turns every meeting into structured knowledge you can actually use. The model lineup backing this isn't thin. You've got access to Claude Sonnet, GPT-4, Gemini 2.5, and a handful of specialized models for coding and reasoning. You can hard select what you want or let the system auto-route based on the task. That routing matters more than it sounds because reasoning tasks need different models than code generation, and multi-step plans benefit from different architectures than quick question answering. It's not just about having options, it's about having the right option available when the task demands it. The developer angle is heavy here. Deep Agent's CLI and desktop editor show up near the top of verified coding benchmarks. They're outperforming tools like Claude Code and Codex on real-world tasks. And the agent doesn't just generate code. It plans the work, edits your repo, runs commands, and keeps a visible trail of what changed and why. If you're building apps or automating workflows, the coding muscle is there, and it's competitive. The roadmap includes MCP integrations for tool hookups, agentic browser automation, customizable agent rules, and a system for deep agent extensions. There's also a Chrome extension coming that'll handle browser automation and give contextual help on any website. Listener itself was listed as coming soon just a couple weeks ago. Now it's live and clearly the main attraction. Pricing is straightforward. $10 per user per month gets you the desktop app, CLI access, chat with top-tier models, and Listener included. Cancel anytime through the interface. Billing and usage live in the desktop UI so you can check quotas, download invoices, and update payment details without contacting support. Fair use quotas depend on your plan tier, and you can monitor current limits through the dashboard. On the compliance side, the checklist is covered. Your data isn't used for training. Everything's encrypted end-to-end. They're advertising SOC 2 Type 2. And HIPAA compliance, which matters if you're in a regulated industry or handling sensitive customer information. That's table stakes for enterprise tools in 2025, but it's good to see it explicitly stated. When you combine Listener with the rest of the desktop platform, the real benefit is eliminating context switching. You're not finishing a sales call and spending 30 minutes trying to reconstruct who owns what. You're not leaving a planning meeting and asking your team 3 days later which option we actually picked. You're not digging through email threads trying to find where someone mentioned a critical deadline. It's captured, structured, and routed to the tools you already use. The chat overlay becomes clutch when you're mid-conversation and someone asks a question you should know. What's different between this pricing tier and the enterprise plan? Ask the overlay while you're screen sharing and answer confidently because it already compared the documents. That's the gap between looking prepared and actually being prepared, and Listener closes it without you needing to memorize every detail. If you want to try it, the desktop app runs on Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. You can also install the CLI directly with NPM if you prefer working in the terminal. The individual plan is $10 a month with everything included. Model access covers Claude, Gemini, GPT, and more. Router picks automatically, or you choose manually. Your content stays yours, encrypted and unused for training. Drop it in the comments, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.